DC has finally taken a leaf out of Marvel's book by presenting a 10-year plan to its fans. That's 10 years too late if you ask us, but at least they're trying. And while they have some great projects in line, we can't help but wonder, where does Batman stand in all this? And also, which Batman? If you're as curious as us, keep watching as we talk about the future of vengeance in DC, starting with the current Batverse. You know, the Batman universe. Of course, at the forefront of it is Rob Pattinson, who has pleasantly surprised us all with his portrayal of the doomed hero. We also know that he's got some more movies coming up, maybe even a trilogy if we're lucky. But sadly, multiple sources, including the Batman's producer Dylan Clark, have confirmed that he won't be a part of DC's extended universe. According to him, Warner Brothers has a multiverse of their own, which they're using to explore the character in all different ways, and that Matt Reeves is more interested in pushing his version of Batman to its emotional depths and shaking him to his core. As interesting and intense as that sounds, it seems like Rob Pat's Batman won't be a part of DCEU, at least not in the near future of the DC-verse. But then, there's David Zaslav's 10-year plan, which has recently become the talk of the town, not only because DC's finally taking the logical route forward, but also because almost a year after his accession to the throne, or actually to the CEO seat at Warner Bros., he made the risky decision of scrapping the entire Batgirl project. Yes, the $90 million project that was nearing completion won't be seeing the cinema screen anytime soon, all because of a tax write-off. And we all know what Ezra Miller has been up to lately, don't we? Thanks to his now criminal status, the Flash could easily follow the Batgirl route. What does that say about Batman's future in the DCEU? He was set to appear in The Flash after all, and it was a double appearance, guys, as Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton, who was also supposed to be in Batgirl, by the way. But now that the movie's fallen off the wagon, does this mean no Keaton for us? Also, what does this mean for Batfleck? Because look, we know he may not have been everyone's favorite, but you gotta admit that he was pretty cool. And while he did step down from his role as the Batman, his reappearance in the DCEU sparked all kinds of theories and rumors, including the whole multiverse theory. You know, where Barry Allen's multiverse journey could ultimately lead him to meeting all the different Batmans and bringing them together somehow. And while we agree that this would be too close to Marvel, it would have made sense if executed properly. But when has DC ever done that? The fact remains, though, that Zaslav wants the Dark Knight to be a part of the Ultimate Extended Universe. According to his plans, DCEU's revamp will be built around the brands people already know and love. This includes Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, and Aquaman, whose second movie will supposedly also star Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne. Now, this just adds to our confusion because seeing Ben Affleck in the same universe could mean he's going to continue his journey in the new movies, but it could also be his last cameo in the world of superheroes. Ugh, we're so confused. Let's also not forget Joker, Folie à Deux, which is yet another link to Batman that we can't ignore. Honestly, this is getting totally bizarre at this point. Remember how Arthur Fleck, Joaquin's Joker alt persona, meets a younger Bruce Wayne in the previous movie? Why would they show that to us if not to tease the appearance of Batman sometime in the future? Of course, this Joker's definitely not from Robert Pattinson's franchise. We've already seen Barry Keoghan make an appearance there. So the question is, will the Joker even have a Batman cameo? Or will it be set in an independent universe where he doesn't exist? That's highly unlikely because who is Joker without Batman, really? Plus, Joaquin's franchise has already established a connection between Arthur and the Waynes. So what's exactly the plan here? As we said, super confusing. So now, we have two Batmans, and a totally jumbled up timeline of events and universes that may or may not collide. Okay, let's clear it up a little. So first, there's the noir world of Matt Reeves' Batman, with Robert Pattinson playing the hero, and Barry Keoghan as the Joker. Second, there's Ben Affleck, who's already met Jared Leto's Joker, but we'd rather not see him back again. He's also in cahoots with the Flash, whose career may just be over at this point. And finally, there's Joaquin Phoenix living in a totally different world of his own. So, who's it going to be? Of course, Warner can't have an extended universe without Batman, but bringing Robert Pattinson to the mix is just gonna mess up the realism Matt Reeves is trying to achieve with his franchise. Then we have Affleck, who is already set to appear in potential DC movies with other superheroes. But guys, do we really want to see him play Batman for the next decade? We don't even think Ben would want that for himself. Also, Batfleck versus Pattinson isn't really a viable competition to begin with either. This leaves us with a third possibility, that a new Batman could enter the universe with his own tone and story. But will that even work considering we already have a successful Bat franchise in the making? Unless Zaslav takes a more Adam West style approach to Batman. You know, goofy, lighthearted, etc. Something tells us that's a long shot though. There's also Black Adam and Shazam, and a Superman origin movie that could happen if what Zaslav's planning comes true. And of course, if all the movies are connected, connected to each other, it could mean either Batman or Superman will play the Iron Man of the DC universe. This means either of them could appear in the next Black Adam and Shazam movies as well. We already know those two can be connected, thanks to them being each other's nemesis. We can already see a connection between the movies forming, but without the titular characters of the DC world, we don't see a lot of progress happening anytime soon. So guess the future's unclear for Gotham's Defender. We're sure it'll work out somehow though, because a DC universe without its greatest detective is just an outright setup for failure. And even Zaslav wouldn't be as crazy to make that work, would he? Next, let's talk about some other news about the DCEU. First, let's talk about the return of Superman. Batman's future may be unclear in DC, but Superman's got a sure shot of returning. That too with Henry Cavill in the lead. Insiders at Warner Brothers have said that Henry is 100% back. They even mentioned how the tides are turning at WB, and that a lot of new things are bound to happen now that the leadership's changing their course. Henry, however, hasn't been too keen on returning as Superman. He's also got a super busy schedule, what with The Witcher wrapping up its 3rd season and his appearance as Sherlock in Enola Holmes. He's also rumored to be the next James Bond, but that's something we've been hearing for a long time. So, do we believe he'll return? We'll have to wait and find out. Oh, and if he does, Black Adam could be his nemesis. Not because he's made of kryptonite, but because of magic. Turns out Superman's susceptible to one more thing aside from the deadly chemical, and that's magic of any kind. With Black Adam being introduced in the DC universe, the creators will have a chance to explore this vulnerability of the MVP, and that'll happen with or without Henry Cavill, of course, because a DC universe without Superman's equally disappointing as it would be without Batman. So we guess Black Adam's got his battles cut out for him. Now, if only DC could find the right actors to play its flagship heroes. And last, we have news about some unexpected delays. That's right, and this time Shazam and Aquaman have made the cut, or not actually, with their release dates being delayed to March and December 2023. Fans aren't too happy with this, and we know why. With Batgirl cancelled and Flash on the chopping board thanks to Ezra, this delay doesn't really affect the trust fans have had, or lost actually, in the studio. There are also rumors that all scenes with Amber Heard and Aquaman may require reshoots. We don't need to tell you why, we're sure you know already. We're just hoping this decision doesn't end up eliminating the franchises altogether. Although considering how successful their first movies have been, this could be chalked up to management changes instead of outright cancellation. Because honestly, we're not too happy with Batgirl's cancellation either. And if the management goes on to eliminate all movies from the franchise just to start anew, we don't think it's the wisest decision either. Guess we'll just have to wait and find out what DC has in store for us in the future. And that's a wrap for this video. What do you think Batman's future in the WB would be like? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.